So, this is the first game of the semi-final of my Final 15 PC against Ben Kyriakou, probably the most accomplished UK player there's been so far. So we've got actually quite similar team compositions here. I'm going to lead off with my Suicune and Excadrill, and he's going to lead off with his Mamoswine and his Rotom. So I had played him before in the Battle Master, so I did know pretty much all his items, but he is actually going to surprise me a little bit. I am going to get a critical hit onto the Rotom with my Drill Run. It does have that raised chance, but that probably did matter, because I think last time we played I didn't manage to knock out his Rotom, so I was actually playing for that crit anyway. But he is able to Earthquake my Excadrill, knocking it straight out, and I'm able to get up my Tailwind with my Suicune. So last time we played, he was a Life Orb Mamoswine, but I don't see any Life Orb recoil. So that leads me to believe that he is actually a Focus Sash variant, because he couldn't be Choice Band because my Suicune didn't take enough damage for that. He's going to bring in his Amoonguss, and he can't redirect my Serperior's Leaf Storm because it is a Grass type. And I do suspect the Sash, but I do need to just go straight for it onto the Mamoswine. And actually, he does reveal the Focus Sash, so he is able to survive and then knock out my Serperior with an Icicle Crash of his own. Now, he could have gone for the Giga Drain onto the Suicune, but I think he was playing it safe so that his Mamoswine was definitely going to survive, because I think I did Ice Beam into the Mamoswine, suspecting the Sash, but Rage Powder takes that away. Mamoswine is able to survive and KO my Serperior with the Icicle Crash. So, from first glance, I don't look in too good of a position, especially since my last one is my Thundurus. But I do have Protect on my Thundurus, so that actually turns it way in my favour, because he can't knock out my Thundurus with an Icicle Crash anymore. He is going to Rage Powder away the Ice Beam onto the Mamoswine. Again, I Ice Beam the Mamoswine, because there was no reason to Scald. And I am able to bring this Amoonguss down to the range where another Ice Beam or a HP Ice would knock it out. So now I can actually get a double knockout, but he's going to read into that, protect his Amoonguss, because I can just HP Ice the Amoonguss and then Ice Beam onto the Mamoswine. And he is actually going to see that that's like what I'm going to do, and he's going to Ice Shard instead of Icicle Crash to get a lot of chip damage onto my Thundurus actually. So I'm actually going to Scold here, because I knew that Amoonguss would go down. So Mamoswine is going to go down, and he does end up having a Salamence in the back, and my Tailwind goes down, which is quite bad for me, because now I don't outspeed his Salamence with my Suicune. So I can threaten the knockout onto this Amoonguss with the HP Ice, but now it comes down to whether my Suicune can survive whatever attack the Salamence is going to go for. He is obviously going to be a Mega 1, because that was his only Mega Evolution Pokemon on his team. So if he has Double Edge, I might be in range of the knockout, but I did actually know from the time we faced before, unless he's changed it, he did have Return, so I don't think it will knock me out. I'm going to be able to knock out this Amoonguss with the HP Ice, and it just comes down to whether his Return is able to knock out my Suicune. With a critical hit, he would have definitely been able to knock me out, but my Suicune is bulky enough to survive the Return. Looking at the damage, he would have definitely got the KO with the Double Edge, so it's good that he had Return instead. And I am able to finish him off with an Ice Beam, which is really nice. So, moving on to Game 2, which will be in a slightly different format, so check that out.